Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello, this is D.K. Singh. With me today is one of the most prominent political personalities of the country. Farooq Abdullah is, I think, probably the senior most, or one of the most senior most politicians in the country.
Alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
But things have changed now, sir. How are you doing now? To start with, you're not feeling well.
Health-wise, I've had COVID in March, so I'm still recovering from it. Otherwise, I'm okay.
Politically, it would be unfair to ask whether you have recovered, but on the 5th of August, it will be 2 years since Article 370 was nullified, invalidated actually. How have things changed on the ground?
Well, as far as Government of India is concerned, they think everything has changed. But you should go and see yourself how much has changed. Whether people have really become more Indians than they were before, or whether they have lost confidence in what Delhi says.
So, sir, I was just telling you, I was right in front of your office. I went inside and I was talking to people there because that was the spot I had visited right after 5th of August 2019. Then there was a lot of anger, resentment. So there were youngsters there who started actually hooting us for even asking questions. Today I went there just to see how the reactions are. And it's more about, you can say, sense of resignation that this has happened, and probably more of disappointment that what they were expecting has not happened on the ground. So somewhere the mood seems to be shifting from anger over the invalidation of Article 370 to expectations which have not been met.
Well, we've seen a lot of tragedies in this state. There's nothing new. And one great thing we Kashmiris have, we don't tell you how we feel inside. We are people who are different on face of it, and inside there is a difference. Hatred is much more than one you can notice. They won't tell you. But you send an American journalist or a British journalist or another journalist who is not an Indian, they'll tell him more than they'll tell you. They have created a situation where those who are pro-Indians are more or less hated. And it'll be very damn difficult for us. Even when we speak about India, it's not that easy. And Delhi doesn't want to hear the truth. I told Prime Minister very frankly, the day we met, that you have no confidence in us, we have no confidence in Delhi. Nehru promised us plebiscite. Where is that plebiscite? Then the second Prime Minister came when in 96 nobody was ready to fight election. He promised us, as far as autonomy is concerned, sky is the limit. Where is that sky? Then the third Prime Minister came, Vajpayee ji, he promised the Kashmir will be settled with Kashmiriyat, Insaniyat, Jamhuriyat. What happened to that? And then you came. You wiped everything out. So, we just live. We're not free people. We are slaves. And that's what we are.
But sir, probably I'm wrong how people in Kashmir are looking at it, but Article 370, as our impression is, it was more about emotional attachment than anything really concrete on the ground.
Let me tell you, the first people who wiped many articles of 370 was Congress, because they had puppet chief ministers here. Whatever little was left, it had emotional attachment to it. We had our own assembly, we had our own flag, we passed our bills, and if the governor didn't sign it, we used to pass it again, and the governor was forced to sign it. So we had many freedoms that, and many were promised by Delhi when we joined India. Maharaja Kashmir himself. If you remember Karan Singh saying it in the Rajya Sabha, that my father gave you only three things: defense, communication and foreign affairs. The rest was all with the people. They had to decide everything else. But you wiped it all out. So, that's the truth. Nobody in India wants to hear the truth because they don't want to hear the truth. What are we? Do you see so much of force anywhere in any state of the country that you see here in every corner? Do you see anywhere in the country where the army is putting flags up day before yesterday on Kargil Day? So what do you see? That they can go to any house, search, beat, arrest. Is this a free state? Are we free people of India? I don't think so.
At what juncture? Today also I was talking to people. Somewhere the parties from Kashmir have not been able to regain the trust of the people.
What do you mean by regain the trust of the people? What do you mean by that?
Because they are just saying like we haven't really got anything. Our life did not really improve as such when we are being ruled by other parties. Not that they are saying that there is a great change happening, but there is some kind of disillusionment that probably the parties here did not really do justice to them in terms of development works.
In 96 I came when everything was destroyed. There was nothing here. We had 300 bridges, small and big, that we made. Roads that were all gone. Government buildings that were completely finished. Schools which didn't exist. Teachers didn't exist. Doctors didn't get jobs. In those 6 years, I had to bring this state back on the rail. We made all those bridges, we made all those roads, and we made those schools active by getting teachers in the same area. Because there were teachers who were from this city and they would never go to the villages afraid of them, somebody will kill them. So we appointed teachers right in the village, appointed by the head of those villages, whoever could teach them. And what was called Rahbar-e Taaleem. In 5 years period, they would be fully involved in the government network.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been actually saying it repeatedly that dynastic parties in Kashmir actually destroyed it.
Yes, they will say it. It is because that is what they say. They have always lied. When did you see him telling you the truth? Tell me. Today, when they've got Israeli machines snooping even on their ministers and a judge of the Supreme Court and nearly 40 journalists, even some who are friendly to them, and still they lie and say, we haven't done it. So where is the truth? They have to sell something. How could they sell anything else? That these three families looted. If we had looted, then I should have had palaces everywhere. I should be the richest man on this earth. Am I? Am I any near Adani or Ambani?
So political rhetoric apart, I mean, whatever they may be saying in Delhi, where from here? What's the way forward?
Unless they change their mindset. Unless they realize that India is not for one religion. It's unity in diversity. And so long as we respect diversity, India will last. The day we disturb the diversity, India is finished. Yes, the cow belt might remain. The rest will go. Time will come. I may not see it. But my children and their children will see it. If they keep on this policy today.
Do you really expect any government in New Delhi in future to basically reverse this entire decision on Article 370? I mean, you know
If
better than
they
anybody
want
else.
the people of Kashmir, there are two things. If you want the land, then do what you like. But if they want people of Kashmir, they will have to rethink. They'll have to rethink. I may not see it. How many 200 years British ruled? Did they ever realize that one day Nehru will be putting a flag up on the that building, Red Fort? Did they ever think so? Did Bhagat Singh ever think that one day his sacrifice will be seen? And those people who were tried in that Red Fort, did they ever think that one day will come? No. But the cry was there that we will see a free country. It'll be a country for all of us. That is what one day came. That will happen here also. I may not see it, but it will happen.
Prime Minister has sought to kind of re-engage with the political leadership in the valley. I mean, you had a meeting in Delhi. How do you see things going forward from here in terms of, political engagement with you?
Let me tell you, our people are still in jail. The governor says there are only some people who are there in the jail. Only the other day, a boy from Ramban was put under the PSA just because he shouted that what you are doing is wrong. So are we free? Where is that promises that they make? That we have to win the hearts of the people. Do you win hearts of the people with force? With BSF, with CRPF, with local police? With officers who can just put you behind bars? Just for one man in Gandarbal spoke when the advisor went. And he said to the advisor, he said, I can get you from your throat because you're part of us. You understand our culture. You understand us. And the DC there, that lady, ordered his arrest immediately. And only when we shouted and cried about it and made noise about it, he was released. So where is that freedom that you enjoy in Delhi, that you enjoy anywhere else in India?
Are you going to take part in the elections whenever they're held?
I don't know. I cannot tell you what will happen at that time. It's still far away. Let's see what delimitation does.
And in delimitation, there are apprehensions that probably the number of seats,
Ask people. They'll tell you. Go and ask people in Jammu. Go and ask people in Doda. Go and ask people everywhere else. Why was it necessary? When I could have done delimitation in 2000, I could have done delimitation. I got the thing reversed and passed it that when whole of the country is going in 2026, we should not have our own delimitation. We should go at that time. Today they are doing delimitation with the census of 2011. Do you think since then population hasn't increased? Why? When they can do it in Assam and say, no, elections are here, we won't do delimitation. Why Kashmir? Why Jammu and Kashmir? Why divide the state into two regions? Why? When it's supposed to be the crown of India?
What's your apprehension, sir?
I don't have any apprehension. I'll just see when it comes. I'm supposed to be sitting in that meeting one day. They've held meetings without any of us sitting in them. Whether parliamentary members from Jammu or parliamentary members from Kashmir.
So can you go for elections without the statehood being granted?
I don't know. I don't know. It's too early to say.
And have you been able to re-engage with the people on the ground?
First of all, we were arrested And the Home Minister lied to the people that Farooq Abdullah is free. Luckily, I was able to hear my daughter came, that here the Home Minister is saying in the floor of the house that you're a free man. And they stopped me here. I had to break this door and go out and meet the press and tell them I'm not a free man. And the man is lying to the whole country. And then PSA put on me, am I anti-India? Am I a Pakistani? Am I a Chinese? That's a tragedy. I'm not a servant of BJP. I'm servant of my people. And I have always been. I've never been servant of Congress. That's why I was dismissed in '84, because I didn't listen to them. My people are far more important to me than Delhi.
How soon are we going to see the entire political process resuming on the ground?
Let me tell you one thing frankly. This will always remain a boiling point for India, Pakistan and China. We are stuck because the government doesn't want to move forward. They will have to find a way with Pakistan. We cannot take their land that they have got, and they cannot take this Jammu and Kashmir. When Bajpayee went to Pakistan, she called me and said, I'm going there. What is your suggestion? I said, please tell them, keep that. We keep this. We straighten the line and keep it easy mobility between people of this side and that side. Trade, other affairs, and the rest of the border of India will also become easy, and more trade and will develop between the two nations. And he himself announced that friends can be changed, neighbors cannot be changed. We either live with them in peace, harmony and develop together, or live in animosity and remain backward forever.
So are you suggesting that the LOC should be turned into a permanent border as a solution?
You see, the question is, there is no other solution. What other solution is there? War? A nuclear war? Is that what you want? That in 70 years we are still poor and you want us to go into hell? Is that what you want? We have to settle. And if we don't settle, then for God's sake, go and see what has happened to Afghanistan. See where Afghanistan today is. When I went to Badshah Khan's funeral, I saw not a single bridge straight, not a single house straight. From Jalalabad, I drove right up to Khyber Pass to receive the body. And I prayed to God. I said, God, let's hope we don't have to go through the same thing. Can we afford it? Look at the petrol prices today. Has that not raised every price of every good to the sky? Go and ask anybody in the city. They will tell you how badly hit they are. War is not an option. Negotiation is the option.
So last question, what can the government of India do to restore total normalcy? And
it is for the government of India to think. Let us stop. It's not only Jammu and Kashmir. Let us stop this hatred campaigns that are being done against Muslims. Time has come. We are not Chinese Muslims or Pakistani Muslims or British Muslims. We're Indian Muslims. Look at the hatred they have created in the rest of the nation. Do you think that does not have an effect on a Muslim majority state? Do you think it does not have an effect? What is it? I have never seen such a situation. I'm now getting on to 86. I have never seen India going this way. Never.
Well, sir, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for talking to The Print.